The streaming video market is about to get crowded.
Wall Street was basically cheering on Netflix to spend more.
In 2017, 61% of adults 18 to 29 years old said they primarily watch TV through a streaming service.
In April 2017, Netflix hit a milestone when it reached 100 million subscribers.
Netflix was going up, and their most affordable tier would now have ads.
Netflix, that stock higher by about 4%.
Netflix is currently available in over 190 countries. Half the subscribers are in the US.
Netflix alone spent $12 billion on original programming in 2018.
About Netflix, it's higher right now after hours, kind of a beat and a raise here, but it has been on quite a run. How much does Netflix's run recently reflect the separation in its business from the mainstream media players, which are not anywhere near all-time highs?
It's the early 2000s, and Blockbuster is everywhere. You can't drive down a street without seeing its towering blue and yellow sign. The movie rental giant was the epitome of home entertainment, until a new name started making waves: Netflix. Most people at the time couldn't predict the magnitude of change that Netflix was about to bring. How did a humble DVD by mail service evolve into one of the biggest tech companies in the world? And more importantly, how did it kill Blockbuster, a company that had dominated the rental business for over 2 decades? Buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the story of Netflix's meteoric rise, its transformation from a DVD rental service to the streaming behemoth it is today, and how it forever changed the entertainment industry. The birth of Netflix. In 1997, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph founded Netflix, not in the sleek offices of Silicon Valley, but in Hastings' garage, just like many great tech stories. At this time, Blockbuster was not only popular, but they ruled the video rental market. If you wanted to rent a movie, the place to go was Blockbuster. But Reed Hastings had a problem. He was late in returning a video rental and faced a hefty late fee. Outraged, he thought to himself, why does this system exist? What if people could rent movies without the hassle of late fees and return deadlines? It was this frustration that sparked the idea for Netflix. At first, Netflix wasn't a streaming service at all. It began life as a DVD rental service, by mail. You could choose movies from their website, and DVD rent would be mailed to your home. The idea was revolutionary: no late fees, no due dates, and no driving to a rental store. It was a subscription model that, quite frankly, changed everything. Blockbuster's early dominance. On the other side of the story stood Blockbuster, the undisputed king of video rentals. The company was founded back in 1985, and by the 90s it had reached over 9,000 locations worldwide. Blockbuster's strategy was simple: thousands of rental titles in store, and late fees if you didn't return them on time. Its stores were iconic, brightly lit, with employees working tirelessly to guide customers through their next movie pick. But even though Blockbuster seemed invincible, something bigger was on the horizon. Netflix started off slow, and it wasn't taken seriously by the industry. For years, the company existed in the shadow of Blockbuster's towering presence. At this point, Netflix wasn't even a blip on Blockbuster's radar. What Blockbuster didn't realize, however, was that Netflix had found the cracks in the empire. The turning point. Blockbuster's fatal mistake. The real turning point came when Netflix introduced the idea of no late fees, a direct attack on one of Blockbuster's core revenue streams. Blockbuster was making billions from late fees, forcing customers to return rentals on time, or else be penalized. This model had served them well for decades. But as the internet began evolving, Netflix found its niche by simplifying the process. With the growth of broadband internet access and better DVD players, the platform began sending DVDs out by mail, cutting out the need for physical store visits altogether. Blockbuster, unfortunately, continued to stick to their brick-and-mortar model. They were reluctant to dive into the new era of online rentals. This hesitation was one of their biggest mistakes. They viewed Netflix's model as too niche, a passing trend. At the time, they weren't entirely wrong. After all, who could ever imagine that a DVD by mail service could outshine an in-person rental experience? But as time passed, Netflix grew faster than anyone anticipated. While Blockbuster struggled with changing consumer preferences, Netflix moved swiftly to become the dominant player. A bold move, the switch to streaming. By the mid-2000s, Netflix had grown its subscriber base and had become a recognizable name. The DVD rental model had been a game changer, but Netflix wasn't satisfied. They had bigger plans. In 2007, Netflix took one of its boldest steps yet, shifting to streaming. In an era where slow dial-up internet still existed for many people, the move to streaming was a daring one. Streaming technology had just started to gain traction, but it was still a far cry from where it is today. It was clear, though, that the future lay in digital streaming. People wanted the convenience of watching movies without having to wait for DVDs in the mail, or even worse, running to a store and finding the movie they wanted out of stock. Netflix quickly capitalized on this. In 2007, they launched a streaming service with an impressive library, but the real breakthrough came in 2013 when Netflix made a major shift. Instead of relying solely on licensing existing movies and TV shows, Netflix began to produce its own content. The rise of Netflix originals. With the success of House of Cards, the first big original Netflix series, it became clear that streaming wasn't just about movies anymore. In fact, it wasn't about rental movies at all. Netflix had turned into a production powerhouse. The streaming service was no longer just distributing other people's content. They were now creating their own. The power shift began. They created hits like Stranger Things, The Crown, Money Heist, and Narcos. Soon, Netflix began spending billions of dollars annually on its content, snapping up a diverse range of shows and movies, both original and exclusive. From a mere video rental service, Netflix had transformed itself into the most influential content producer in the world. And let's be honest, at this point, even Blockbuster's richest assets couldn't compete with the global content Netflix was rolling out. Netflix became more than a platform, it was a cultural force. People were no longer waiting for their DVDs. They were binge-watching entire seasons of shows in one weekend, with shows like Breaking Bad or Orange is the New Black. Blockbuster's decline. By 2004, it was clear that Blockbuster's old-school rental model just wasn't sustainable. In the face of streaming services like Netflix, Blockbuster tried to adapt. They even launched their own online rental service, but it was too late. By that time, Netflix had already been pioneering this space for years. People were now more likely to rent movies directly from streaming sites rather than paying late fees at a Blockbuster store. The final nail in Blockbuster's coffin came in 2010 when the company filed for bankruptcy. The digital age had rendered the video rental business obsolete, and Blockbuster, despite its storied legacy, could not keep up with Netflix's revolutionary model. The power of subscription and global reach. Fast forward to the present, and Netflix is one of the most recognized brands in the world. Today, it boasts over 230 million subscribers across 190 countries. But it wasn't just the shift to streaming that propelled Netflix to the top. It was their mastery of the subscription model. As traditional media companies clung to older pay-per-view models, Netflix's approach was different. A single subscription fee for unlimited content anytime and anywhere. By the time its competitors launched their own streaming services, like Hulu or Disney+, Netflix was already entrenched in millions of households globally. From its humble beginnings as a DVD rental service to its transformation into a powerhouse of global streaming, Netflix not only changed the way we consume entertainment, but also single-handedly took down the movie rental giant, Blockbuster. Through calculated risks, a visionary leadership, and a deep understanding of consumer preferences, Netflix proved that the future of entertainment lies in streaming. Netflix has dominated not just by offering a wide range of content, but by becoming a company that evolves faster than the competition. The morale of Netflix's story is clear. Innovation, risk-taking, and adaptability are the keys to survival in an ever-changing world. And Blockbuster? Well, Blockbuster could have been what Netflix is today. But as we know, hindsight is 20/20. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the businesses that have changed the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.